So I want to talk just for a little bit about staying organized in Google Drive. And that's really important now, especially because a lot of the stuff that we're doing is online and it's going to be mostly online. So it's important to be able to find things again. So people don't realize that it's nice to be able to look back at the work you've previously done. And maybe you're thinking that, oh, I'm never going to look at the stuff that I did in freshman English ever again. But maybe you want to look at maybe you wrote a really nice poem and some class asks you, like, oh, do you have an example of poetry or something? And maybe that's never going to happen, but you want to be able to find that again. And I think the two most important things about staying organized are naming things and separating like class groups. So I am a little bit obsessive about this. You do not have to have as many folders as I do. It's just my way of finding things again. So I think it's important to put dates on things. Like when you're naming things, I think it's very important to add dates. And that's because, so I have the date and then what it is. If I make sure that I always add the date, then say, I don't remember exactly what I'm doing. I don't know exactly what I'm looking for. So I'm like, I know I did it in January though. So I could just do January and then here's all of the stuff that I did in January and I could find that easily. So I'm like, maybe I was looking for my post on atomic bombs. So then I can find that easily. But the other thing is making sure things consecutively are named the same. Like you have the same naming scheme for things. So this is Warriors Don't Cry Journal 1, and then the next journal is Warriors Don't Cry Journal 2. And that makes it so I can easily find both of them. I know where they are, and it's easy to find them. The other thing is grouping. So I think everyone should at least have divisions in like freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, senior year. Other than that, I think it's what I do is I have it separated into class and I have the period first and then what class it is. I don't think that's entirely necessary if you name things right because you can still find stuff, but I think it's helpful because then I can always know what stuff is for Clarion and I don't have to have really specific like names for everything because I can find them based on what class they are. Really, I think that if you just make sure you name things and keep naming things right and have the date on them, I think it'll be a lot easier. You don't really have to have an organization system because you can just look it up in Google Drive and you can find it that way. So those are my thoughts on staying organized. That also applies to if you're keeping folders of things like paper folders and you want to find things again. You want to add the date and the title to pretty much everything, I think, because then you can find it again. Then you know when things are. And it's a lot easier to find things that way. And on paper folder, it's especially important to separate all of like your papers into what class they are and then keep them in those divisions because you'll always be able to find them again. You'll always know where it is what you're looking for. You aren't going to have to spend like 30 minutes looking for one paper that you forgot to turn in. You can just spend 1 minute looking for it and easy peasy. So that's my thoughts and that's all.